Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, know nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. This is the vault, episode 298. Trading is the new Monday night football. Definitely want to do this episode. We got our trading partner Cornell on the line. A lot of people always want to hear from this gentleman, so it's been some weeks since we had him on here. A lot of things have happened in the marketplace. Obviously, a lot of people, have taken the webinar that he did earlier this year. We're already on the roll. We're actually going to put in a thumbnail or in the episode here. We'll post the workshop that Cornell in the Vault. Actually, Cornell's going to be featured at. He's been featured at workshops before at the Vault, but we're going to pull him in for this workshop as well again, talking about growth and things of that nature. Shout out to Memphis, Tennessee for tuning in live, listening to replay. Shout out to Memphis, Tennessee. But definitely wanted to do an episode. Trading is the Monday Night Football for Cornell. And this is going to be obviously we're going to get as much as we can out of him right now because his time is limited. But, definitely want to talk to him about, just some different thought processes, how everybody makes it look easy. You even talked to someone this past week that, you were telling us that, you told them to not get into the network marketing stuff. Most people don't know how to trade. But then next thing you know, they get into the network marketing aspect of it and completely abandon learning the skill. So this could be a very extensive episode. It could be very in depth, but we still want to ask those basic questions to someone that, when we originally met Cornell at the Vault, he literally wasn't working a job. This is somebody once again that was trading professional. When we met him, he said he's making $2,000 plus a day. He was like, "Oh man, I ain't never met no brother ever say that he got trading down ever." No brother has ever said that they got trading down before you did to me. So when you said that, I was like, okay, this is an interesting brother because that's a skill, a technical skill that not everybody has. He may be worthwhile. And most people think about you once they hear that you can trade, that you've done it for a substantial period of time. The first thing they think about is giving you some money to trade for them. So could you talk about, Cornell, possibly what you think when people say that to you first? And then could you talk about how trading has turned into the new Monday night, is the new Monday night football, where everybody, has got an opinion, everybody knows how to do it. They all can play under the lights. But when we look under the hood, when we go look at their track record, there's no trades in. And you've seen this for years now.
Yeah, they fool you with the fancy lifestyle, but they getting that money from that network marketing. A lot of folks don't really, they don't. It's a few trying to learn how to trade, but a lot of them, when that check get to rolling, they then go straight to network marketing. And then
Right.
next thing you know, like I said, when that fall off, you back in the hole again because you never learned the skill. So you partially learn the skill. Like I was talking to somebody today, like, oh man, you going options, you put a 1 minute contract in. That ain't real trade. That sound like guess. So I don't know why people don't learn the skill. I've said this for years. It's just like a trade. It's a skill that don't go away, Chris. We know that. Stock market ain't going nowhere. They still doing the same thing. No matter how much new technology y'all doing, guess what? They still using the same old technique.
So if it's so same old techniques, why has it been so myth? It's been a myth. Oh, you can't do it. You can't do it. It's a big mountain. It's the tall grass. What makes it so mythological? Is this is where you say that wealthy people make a simple system look complicated. Could you elaborate on when you say that?
Guess what? You're not trained right. You're not educated right. Just hearing the word stock market scare people. So guess what? These guys sitting over here making their money, by just sitting in the spot, then to go to another spot. Y'all done heard all the explanations you want to hear, all the new algorithms, all the AI, all the new strategies, Christian, but you just seen it. From the hedge fund side to the real private banking side trade. These guys sitting in the spot, know what's going to happen months ahead of time, manipulating the uneducated people off their emotions to get their money. So when you don't learn that skill, you get caught up in the hula. You do good, then guess what? That same person you were following probably fall off. Seen it millions of times so far.
And it's so crazy that so many people they tout that they're trading, but really, what are they doing? They're marketing. That's the bottom
They
line.
marketing.
What talk about the P&L side of it, the profit and loss that's real about the business. Could you talk about that? Because so many people think that this is a business that you get in and you don't take losses at times on a different trades or whatever. They think you're supposed to win every trade, or they're naive to the fact that losses are not as bad as they sound. Losses are just a part of the game.
And they're not. Loss is part of the game. When you learn the correct way, guess what? Me and Chris can go in and lose 4 out of 5 hour trade and still make money. When you're not taught right, you're going for quick money. Y'all going with the fad. You jumping in and out. And when I teach, I always give this example. My 300 go longer than your 300 because I got a plan of action before I even take my trade. I got a minimum loss that I'm gonna take, but at the same time, I just want to learn the real information. So if I'm going, if I got, let's say like, while y'all trying to get 50 and $100, I'm probably trying to get $1,000. Meaning, if we use the same stop loss, Christian, we got $300 in the account, right?
Right.
If you lose, let's say we took 5 trades, Christian lose the first 4, boom, he down 200. But he following the fad, so all he knows how to go and make his 50, 100, maybe get lucky and get a couple hundred in out of it. But let's say fifth trade, you finally hit 100. How much money you made?
You lost money because you went down.
You
You know.
lost some money. So let's take learning the correct way. Well, we know we get in where the bank getting at, we getting out where the bank get at. We lose the same trade. Now we take our fifth trade, but the ratios is higher. We 10-1 on our trade. We go make $1,000. How much money I'd have made? If my stock was $50, the same way we take the smaller account, even though I lost them 4 times, I went for 200. I still profited $800 because I went and took the time to learn. Oh, the bank just ain't hopping in the market to grab quick money, so they play the game. That's why we say they manipulate you. We control the news. So guess what? I'm gonna get Christian to jump on that Bitcoin wagon, let it go up a little bit, then I'm gonna snatch it back and get all the money back. Then I'm gonna take it right back up and let it go where it's supposed to go. That's what we call manipulation. Because FYI, for nobody that don't know, stock market don't go straight up.
Right.
It's gonna go take losses. We don't buy when price is high. We buy when price is low. And we look at the chart and know when to get in. Not the fad. They've been killing people on the fad. Marketing took a lot of money off fad. The previous year and so far this year.
You think that I don't think it's necessarily wiped people out. I think it has gotten people very dejected towards that situation. It was like you say they bought into the hype stock, and because they bought into the hype has taken out the emotion and the excitement of investing. It's like, what's the point of investing if there's manipulation in this environment? How can I? How That's why I'm gonna just go play it safe and work a job because how is this a safe environment, but for some odd reason, they say it's regulated, but at the same time there's a situation where it's you call it just what it is, manipulation. How is that going on in an environment that you're telling me is regulated and things of that nature? That's what people want to
How's
know.
it go? It's been going on for years. The market does the same thing every day. Whether you're doing forex, whether you're buying stocks, whether you trade options, whether you trade the futures. When we look at the chart, it's controlled by the same people. It's doing the same thing every day. So this is the simplicity of it. If you learn where they sitting, you sit where they sitting at, you get out where they get out at. You let everybody else play in the middle. That's what we do. We talking about. We're gonna take this complex system, make y'all go overlearn everything, so you can overthink everything, and we're gonna use the same repetitional stuff every day that y'all stockpile our money up for because nobody put money in the stock market. So we have to take somebody's money, Christian. You know what? Let's run this article.
Right. And it's interesting because people don't think of it like that. I'm like, the mentors, obviously, they educated us, let us know that people, they're getting behind, championing their stocks and things of that nature, championing stock that they may have a position in. And what's interesting, a lot of times, the position that they're marketing to you, they actually have a complete opposite position sitting on the opposite side, waiting for liquidity to enable them to get out of the market and exit that particular trade, And it's just interesting to see that type of stuff, man. Um, we could have one of those gloves match conversations, but I think we can because of the time in the episode that the episode's being recorded. I think we can take the punching gloves off, and have more of a brass knuckles conversation. And what I really want to talk to you about some of the things that we talked about over the past few days about leadership, about hearing those hard conversations when it comes to investing in yourself, investing in your education, making it a priority to get your money. When we even talk about trading as the new Monday Night Football, I mean, everyone wants to sit here and say, "Oh, they're making all this money from trading." But from your observation, Cornell, when you even look at how you've engaged people, whether it's in a mentorship group or not, I definitely would appreciate it if you talk about, what we talked about earlier is like, do people really want their money? Are they willing to study? Are they willing to put in the work to get the money that this particular skill set trading actually can provide? Oh,
Most people are not.
okay.
They're not gonna put the time in, and that be your stumping block because everybody want it quick. They want to take the time to learn it, even though it's gonna benefit you in the long term, pretty much for the rest of your life. Even if it took you a whole year to learn it, guess what? Everybody want money right now. But it's because what you gonna do with the money, Chris? It's because I ask everybody, what you gonna do with the money when you make the money? You got a plan for the money? Oh, you just gonna what? What you gonna do? And most people can't answer that question. So why is it a rush? Own it. Why you gonna rush it? Then if you ain't got no plan, guess what? Emergencies come up. Guess what? You got to probably have to spend some of the money. May lose your job. You're not investing in yourself. You just went for a quick hustle. Like I hear everybody talking about crypto right now. Man, if you don't understand crypto, you can go broke on crypto real quick.
Yes, you can.
You can
Yeah.
be up today and broke tomorrow. That type, that quick. Most people don't believe it. Oh man, I just made such and such all this coin, yada yada. Okay, cool. You just made such and such off that coin. Congratulations. But there's gonna be that one day that you ain't gonna get out of it on time, and you was up a whole lot of money, Christian, and because you never properly learned, guess what's gonna happen?
It might go against you.
It's gonna go against
Okay, so let's
you.
talk
Look at
about locking in with a mentor. What is locking in with a mentor to you? What is finding a partner or an accountability partner? What do these people look like so you can learn the skill, so you can have a support system around you as you learn the skill? Talk about that. Maybe your process. What was your mentorship relationship like to learn it, and what was your support system? The people you surrounded yourself by. Did you guys study and have a certain number of set days? Did you guys come to each other with a certain ideas? What was some of the formats that you guys utilized to grow? as you supported each other?
You gotta be willing to listen. Me personally, somebody in a better position than me, I ain't arguing with them. I'm gonna listen if I want to develop what I'm trying to develop to. Most of us don't do that. They might say, listen to me and you, be like, these just some talking guys, think they know everything, yada yada. Okay, that's how you put it. But ask anybody that's in the environment around us, how important the information is and how it changing their life. But are you willing to listen to somebody else? Or are you one of them people? I'm straight, I'm doing all right. I ain't that person. I'm straight. I'm doing all right, Chris. But get what? I can get a meeting with Master P. Sit down. You think I'm not finna listen to him?
Right.
And most people miss their opportunity because you don't want to listen. You got the decent job right now, but okay, what you gonna do? You can't even tell what you're gonna do. That job go away because you never learn how to invest in yourself. You never pick no good mentor that push you to think outside the box. We just talking about it the other night. What I said, I was working. This how a real mentor do you. Like one of mine. I ain't talking to you no more till you do it. A lot of y'all take that statement the wrong way, thinking somebody just being cocky. I did. You know what? I'm working hard every day. This man got 30 something running house. Staying in 3 houses at one time. He didn't say he wasn't gonna help me, Christian, but hey, he had to go on and make a point to me because I would be wasting my time and his time if I just keep talking every day.
Right.
But a lot of people don't want to listen. A lot of people would have walked away from that situation. Ah, screw him, yada yada. See, we got to get out of that mind frame of thinking. Because guess what? Real mentors gonna be hard on you. Real mentors ain't gonna cut no slack. That's kind of what I do my little mentorship group now. Hey, ain't no cutting no slack. Oh, I ain't got it. You got it. It's some habits, bad habits you got. I'm pretty sure you come up with some money. But who's willing to change some of those habits
Well,
so you
that's
can
what a
have the money?
well, that's what a support system comes in, because if people were already in an
That's it.
environment to grow, they would have grew more. So let's just say someone's looking to get into a more sophisticated environment. They're looking to go into a private environment. They're looking to go into a trading environment. What are some of the criteria or expectations that they should have learning this new skill when they looking for partners to know, okay, this person's serious or not serious?
To know they serious or not serious.
Yeah,
Hmm.
how do you know? Like, just people that, the support system that you were rolling with, what let you know that person was serious that you was dealing with?
They actions. Where they at in life? Are they growing? You gonna know who you're around if they growing or not. You talking to the same people and they in the same position from 3 years ago. Like I said, they still all right and they ain't grow to the next level. Then you right people. If they knocking every time you do something, you around the right people. If you ain't learning something new, you ain't around the right people. We in this environment, look how much we still learn. We all right, but guess what? We never stop learning. If you get in an environment you can keep learning, you're in the right environment. If you're in an environment you're just hanging around, you probably ain't gonna accomplish what you're trying to accomplish.
Right. What I think this bears repeating, which is, I can't make you get your money. This is just a classic line that Cornell has always said, and I don't know how to overly explain it, but I'm gonna let you explain what that means to you. And when you say that to trustees in training or people that are looking to get the trading, you can't make people get their money. Now, when I came to you, I said, look, I might have to treat this like a job. Like, I gotta have a schedule. This is a business, man. I can't just, get to it when I get to it. I can't look at it without having a schedule. I gotta have a schedule attached. So, but when you say I can't make you get your money, it forces you to do things so you can get your money. That's why I say I needed the schedule. But when you say you can't make somebody
Like
get
when
their
I
money,
make that statement, people come and say they trying to do stuff for your family and everything else. So, are you serious when you say that statement, or you just saying it to sound good in front of whoever you talking to? Cornell don't just make that statement. Cornell gonna put 1,000% in for his family. So Cornell ain't trying to just take your money. I don't care if you take my class or not, if that's the attitude you got, because you ain't gonna get it anyway. Now, if you're really trying to provide for your family, I ain't gonna have to call Chris. I ain't gonna have to go check back behind and see if he's studying and everything else. Cause you just told me you trying to change this for your family. Shouldn't nobody had to? This is what the mentor tell us. Guess what? Shouldn't nobody had to push you on that part? That's something you got to be willing to do. When I make the statement, people like, I can't make you go get the money for your family. If you gonna play around, go ahead and play around by yourself. Cornell ain't gonna give you that much attention when I see you playing around. I'm gonna be over here around people that's gonna help me get to where I need to get to. So I'm gonna go get to the money. I ain't gonna make excuses. I'm gonna go do what I gotta do for the family. So that's what I mean. When I mean that's what I can't make Christian study every day. I'm not gonna call him every day. Hey Christian, no, yeah, I know you took my class. Nah, that ain't how mentorship work. That ain't how it work with us. Guess what? I'd be scared to call my mentor back, knowing I didn't follow up on what he told me to go do.
Cornell, but it gets a little tough sometimes, man, where people, they're working really hard and they don't see the result. They don't see the payoff. They see the dig in the ditches, but the trenches, but they don't see the reward. You
You
know,
take the good with the bad. Guess what? Anything in life, guess what? If you ain't trying nothing new, you're gonna stay where you at anyway. So why not try something new? If you're trying to better what you're doing or better your family life, you got to try something new. You got to take a chance. Man, you talk about that all the time. I said yeah, most people they got a little money saved, 10 to probably 30,000 saved, but how many are willing to take a chance to make some more money with some of that money? Because they not. They're so comfortable with their job, but then guess what happens? Lose the job. Like what's going on now? With everything going on, a lot of jobs ain't coming back and stuff like that. We still ain't seen the worst yet. That's the crazy thing. Like we still ain't seen the bad yet. What I
right.
mean by the bad, we ain't seen when the stimulus stopped and the vaccine is out and everything start going back to normal. How many people just taking checks and ain't taking care of their bills? How many businesses that already went bankrupt because they lost so much business? Like we ain't seen all of it.
Yeah, yeah,
So you better get your money for your family. Like everybody think last year was a bad year. It wasn't a bad year for an entrepreneur that was investing.
right.
You had the opportunity to make way more money you would have made in a normal market if you stayed out of the clouds with everybody else and got in the right environment. It was a lot of money made last year. It's a lot of money being made right now. And now you see in the gap further and further. It's going to be rich and poor. Your middle class ain't going to even hold up no more. These folks are going from rich to wealthy. So that's more power.
Yeah, man, it's a different type of marketplace right now. When you look at the landscape, I think a lot of people they're hoping for the best. This is one of those things where you jump out the airplane, you didn't check your parachute before you took off. A lot of people they think they have a parachute on, but they didn't check it, so it may or may not open. And people should have took the proper precautions. This is the prepare before the storm comes type mentality. But let's talk about the opportunity cost loss that people are going to miss out possibly, Cornell, because they aren't in the correct position. What are some of the things you're hearing in the marketplace from people that are in the marketplace? that are either taking risks right now, didn't take a risk last year with some of the things you said, so they saw the opportunity that cost them that they just cost themselves, whether it's with Pet Vivo or any of the different interests that you mentioned this past year. Could you talk about the opportunity cost loss and some of the sentiment that you're getting from the market? Well, what are people saying when they talk about the opportunity cost loss that you may have shared with them that they didn't take advantage of a while back, that they may say, oh, now I know I have to do it? What do you say to people that are still they got their finger on the trigger but they didn't pull it yet?
Like you said, I can't make you get your family money. So for instance, like how you talking about that Pet Vivo stock, just even putting a couple thousand in there made you 5 figures by taking a check. What you would have went and spent that couple thousand doing something else. I promise you, you would have. But you scared to invest in yourself.
Do you think that's not a plausible thing? Do you think that the average person or people that have jobs or things of that nature
People are scared.
oh,
People are so
okay.
used to old school ways. They comfortable with a job, and I definitely would not be comfortable with a job right now in the conditions going on in the United States right now. Ain't no more 30-year plan with no job. I don't see it. Technology changing too much. So if you thinking that, you around the wrong spaces because you should be understanding. Just like even with local government jobs, they ain't even going back to whole weeks at work. Guess what? They buying technology. Guess what? Some gonna be online, some are not. Guess what? I done talked to a couple business people that have saved so much money during COVID by being able to work from online and using these systems. Guess what? They not bringing them jobs back. But you always gotta look at it. Those are those people company. The bottom line is who? Their family. I like Christian, but I'm not just gonna hire Christian just because I like him. And my family gonna suffer over here. No, I can't keep paying Christian the same thing. Oh, I can eliminate 10 jobs with this. Oh, I'm finna do it. And that's what's going on. So now the people that just are they are just savers, as I call them, and your money not growing. You lose your job, that saving that you worked so hard to save up, those 20, $30,000, it's gonna quickly go away because you still got bills to take care of. But I'm gonna tell you the one thing you didn't do. You didn't invest. You never took a chance to invest in yourself and make some money outside of working.
I
Now you got
think
to use the money.
I think when people look at trading though, and I was just thinking as you were saying this, people think trading is day trading. They think day trading is the Monday Night Football. And so, could you talk about day trading versus trading? Because so many people think that they're going to have to learn how to day trade as opposed to just having more control over their pension, having more control over their finances, having more control over their investment strategy, not picking a stock and necessarily holding it because you're holding risk just as much as you're holding opportunity. It's called volatility. So, could you talk about day trading versus trading? Because so many people think they're the same thing, Cornell, and we completely know that it's not.
Yeah, they think it's the same, but it ain't. Uh, it's hard to read people nowadays right now because people relax with the stimulus, Christian. Let's gonna be honest. They real relaxed with the stimulus right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's free money,
So
man.
it's it's
Right.
supposedly free money,
Right.
but people rather take a risk on the free money than going to learn a valuable skill. I don't get it.
It's a poverty mentality, Cornell. I've essentially deduced that the fact that the government is taking care of welfare recipients. If you are receiving a stimulus check, you are a welfare recipient. This is the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen. We have no problem with telling you unemployment is for the person that is unprepared. It's the bottom line truth. Bottom line. It's an unfortunate circumstance. Clearly, they have a welfare program for people to use to get back on their feet. Some people use it to get on their feet. Some people stay on the extended program. Some people never come back. And that's the facts. We're talking about the hodgepodge of the reality. And so at the end of the day, we've seen people, Cornell has seen in us, we've seen people that are literally, whether they're excited, whether they're okay with accepting a poverty check. Ladies and gentlemen, if you make a certain amount of money, of course you can't get unemployment.
Yep.
So how you gonna sit here and say, well, oh, if I was making the money that I really wanted, then I'll be collecting unemployment still? How you gonna collect it if you're making the money that you were supposed to be making? See, this is the mentality, the fear-based mentality that's put out in the marketplace. Well, if you make too much money, you're gonna pay more in taxes. If you and think about it, the government, they're trying to tax the rich, right? So it discourages you from getting rich, and they encourage you to stay poor by what? Giving you a handout.
Yeah.
Bottom line, this is easy math. But because think about it, remember who trained you, who gave you your education, the government through the public school. So of course they're gonna tell you what we just said. So at this point, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about. Do y'all understand what mentorship is? Mentorship from the perspective of specifically people that are going through Cornell's mentorship program. Cornell has a workshop coming up on what is it, the 28th of this month, the 28th of March.
Oh, the trade webinar.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
trade
yeah,
webinar.
yeah.
Yeah, we got a trading webinar with Cornell on the 28th of March. Y'all can feel free to reach out. Christian at trustchristian.com. Christian at trustchristian.com. We'll still put the flyer on. Cornell, send over that flyer to me so I can post it, and I'll post up the flyer on the YouTube page here. Uh, so you guys can hear that for the podcast or see that for the podcast. Nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, Cornell does these webinars by request. Ladies and gentlemen, when you know how to
By
trade,
request.
and when you know how to trade, you're not out here soliciting for what? What are you soliciting for? See, this is the part that Cornell has messed up the marketplace when he called it out from day one. Was if you trading, you don't need anybody. But for some odd reason, people want to sit here and say, "Oh well, I want to help out the world." Cornell helped out the world, and he still ain't recruiting nobody. Still ain't holding no meetings. He ain't holding a meeting before he know how to trade. He holding a meeting after he know how to trade.
By request. So now we just started the mentorship. Guess what? First two meetings, all these people in position to make a couple 100,000, Chris. It's just like I said, being in the right environment.
Yeah, being in the right environment. Is
Oh, he just talking right now. No, I ain't just talking right now. And guess what? The smart one's gonna get it without having to use a whole lot of money.
Yeah,
Small
definitely.
investment. And the ones that already had it, guess what? They in better position.
I was thinking the other day. I was like, man, what if we use Dane's system with just the corporations and the lines of credit and things of that nature, and just moving and just doing business within the group, for a period of time. It's like, man,
Exactly.
it's so much opportunity there, man. When you look at what you really were able to put together, which was obviously unity and coming together, and now we get to a place where it's okay, we need leadership. So could you talk about what does the leadership really look like, Cornell, for whether it's your trading group or your mentorship group? What does mentorship, excuse me, what does leadership actually look like to you? What does it look like to you?
It goes back to you got to be willing to learn. You got to put yourself in the right environment. And you got to step up to the plate when you get in them environment. Like I push my people a little bit in the group because guess what? You asked for years. I'm giving you direct access to my people. And one thing you're gonna learn from being around me, we talk about trading and everything else, we're not chasing money. at all at any given time. We're gonna go in and learn the proper way to set the system up so that we won't even have to focus on the money because the money gonna come. So that means you're gonna have to develop some leadership characteristics because you're gonna have to make the hard decisions sometimes. And sometimes we don't achieve what we want because we won't go get in an environment with somebody that's gonna push us. But when you choose an environment, you gotta choose somebody that's doing something. I'm not getting in an environment and the person ain't moving at a higher rate than me. You can't tell me nothing if you over here working. What can you tell me? I'm not working. I'm probably making way more than what you're making at work. I don't care who you work for. My investments are just that strong. But that's what I'm saying. Y'all get leadership from the wrong people. Now you get like you might listen to us tonight, but I was gonna take the train, and you go talk to your buddy who got a small business over there. Like, oh man, I want food with that.
I was
And next
getting.
thing you know, you don't do anything. You got around the wrong people. That they knocking with what you trying to do because they don't understand some, and because they got a little small business, don't make them right.
Man, Cornell, I'm gonna just come out and say this, man, because okay, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So, you know, the individual that we know that's in town going to somebody's conference this weekend. It's like you can go to somebody's conference that's not able to make the impact that you're able to make. That's a loser in our book. See, me and Cornell, we're not chasing money. No, we don't go to other people's conferences that are hype events. They're not giving us no skills. All they want us to do is say that they got 30,000 people in an arena and they got their name on a helicopter. See, Cornell and Trust Christian, we doing the same thing those goofballs over there say they doing, which is helping people make money privately. You in private investments when you're in the private sector. They talk about leadership. Leadership is somebody you can call. What you talking about? How's somebody gonna be your leader and you don't got their personal phone number? That means you don't have the opportunity to establish a relationship. But people want to talk about leadership because these people got big names over the internet, because they know how to market through YouTube, because they know how to market through Facebook, because they know how to get
Yeah,
fronted, because they know how to get fronted stuff. See, in the environment we in, see Cornell and we know a major company will give you a product if you got a following. They'll give you any car. A dealership will give you a car. It ain't
yeah,
even gotta be the car company. A dealership will give you a car. But what we talking about here? People talking about leadership because somebody's riding around a Lamborghini and showing you the Lamborghini. Because they showing you, look, once again, a real estate company's letting you rent out the house and do a commercial for your company. Y'all think we stupid? See, Trust Christian, Cornell, and the Vault, we're in the high net worth investor environments. We're in the rooms with the DuPonts. We're in the rooms with the high net worth investors, the private equity firms that's investing in Silicon Valley. If we named off names, you would know the names. But all of a sudden, we don't never see any of these guys over the internet. And we truly talking about people that are on the internet. We're talking about the guys that's doing this Instagram garbage, doing these Facebook ads. We don't really see any high net worth investors in those environments on Facebook. We're talking about the ones that actually got the money too. We're not talking about the ones that once again, oh, this helicopter company, they let me rent out the helicopter. Oh, this real estate company, they gave me the house on sponsorship. Oh, the dealership, they gave me the car on sponsorship. What? Y'all think we don't know these people? We know of
mm,
them, but what happened to them coming into playing with the private fellas and ladies? They don't even exist. They're not even in there. And guess what? First, you have to be the student in order to become the teacher. So how are they teaching you to get billions or millions? They're not in the high net worth investor environment. You think we stupid? You, where you think the trillions of dollars is moving? Not the internet money. Not the internet money that says, oh, well, I'm trading on the internet. Let me hold $1,000 in my hand. Let me hold $10,000. Oh, I got to hit you with 10,000, Cornell. Oh, you know what? Let me pull out $100,000. It's rare you see somebody pull out $100,000. When have you seen a professional trader from Goldman Sachs or any other major institution, J.P. Morgan, pull out $1 million and tell you that they're going to teach you how to trade? First of all, who do you think is a better trader? The person that's trading over the internet out their garage, or the guys that's sitting at J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs? Oh no, no, Cornell, I don't have access to those people. You don't have access to those people. But lying to yourself, telling yourself that you're gonna learn something halfway from these guys over the internet that are putting on, whether they're holding thousands in their hand. Cornell, they got this one ad right now on YouTube. This dude, he comes on here and he says, banks aren't trying to lend you for a rehab. This is an idiot once again. And clearly, he's marketing to idiots. Why would the bank not give you money for a rehab? First of all, to get paid, the gets paid on repayment of a loan. So they want their money back with interest. Now, if they go on into what is one of the largest gross domestic products in the United States, which is real estate, to help you not only rehab the property, they're going to get it with interest. And some goofball has made an advertisement on YouTube that says, oh no, the banks don't want to lend you money for real estate. That's the first lie. The second lie, he says, oh, the banks don't want to lend you money for a rehab. That's a lie. But this dude's clearly spent some money on the ad, and he keeps coming up in the feed. So he's spending some money on an ad. And guess what? He must be making money off it because he spent some money on an ad.
Yep, you getting some kind of money.
He's catching a couple dummies out here. Oh no, so I gotta go do what he talking about. He's talking about private lending. Wow, we're caught off guard by that stupidness. And I think, Cornell, people, they want people to have this, flamboyant, rambunctious personality. They hear your country accent. They hear me maybe get a little up and down with the tone, and they say, what is it that these guys consistently bring that the rest of these guys on the internet are pretty much buying advertisements, all type of stuff. We've done workshops in the private. Once again, Cornell, what can somebody say to you when you don't even advertise and you've helped people make money and change lives? I'm talking about, what does that say to you, knowing that you don't have to deal with the hype stock mentality on the public side, but you've been able to continuously live your life? No one's taking money from you. They're not stealing anything from you. You've had people even try to steal your goddamn system, and you still don't gripe about it. You still help people. What does that mean to you? What is your thought process that keeps you moving forward with not feeling any type of way when it comes to even people stealing stuff and things of that nature, but you continuously giving? What's your thoughts on that?
Let me know I'm doing it the right way. Any any mental island had, guess what? They don't gotta go advertise. But I'm pretty sure they get whatever they want out of people, and people always request them to do certain things. If you moving the right way, then people gonna request. You ain't gotta go shop it and do the network marketing with it. You gonna get it the right way. And some of you probably like, oh man, I know people. Yeah, I know people too that do make a lot of money in network marketing. But I also know they have ups and downs too. Start asking questions about their ups and downs. Yeah, but I don't know what the ups and downs. Ups and downs is they making the same amount of money every month. Cause get what? Those people went down, Christian. You depending on people. Y'all not learning skills. You depending on people. The product might not even be that good. The product might suck. You just was a good salesman. But you made 100,000 last month, but you ain't told everybody for the last 3 months. You done made 10,000 a month, and you lost so much business. It, it, it just, I don't know. People want quick money nowadays. Like, I don't know who told y'all that you weren't gonna have to work to get what you're trying to get or get the money you're trying to get, and it's just that easy. Listen, the stock market been around for a long time. You done heard me say this to you. I don't care how much money you got. If you don't learn it the correct way, you're not gonna outsmart the stock market. You don't care how much money you got. I put up all the money I got. I promise you, you will run out of money before you think you just gonna beat the stock market because you got some money. I've seen many people fail at that. That was in good position. They'll tell you he's absolutely correct.
This is honestly, Cornell, and I gotta be honest with you, man. So many people, they don't want to work because they know that it is a lot of work to get
That's it. People don't want to put the work
wealthy,
in.
to get wealthy. Now, not only is it work to get wealthy, Cornell. People think once you get wealthy, you get to take a break. They think you're gonna sit down. It's not to say that you don't receive the rewards from having more money. They think you sit down. Even when we talk about the real estate investments and generating passive income that pays for your bills, people think you sit down once you get wealthier. Oh, you got the bills paid for, so now you're supposed to just sit down. You're supposed to take it easy. You're supposed to put it and take it out of sixth gear and put it in fourth gear. Cornell, what is your thought process towards put taking it out of sixth gear and putting it in fourth gear when you are in sixth gear and nothing's in your way, you got a straight shot and you're in the zone? Do you push the gas or do you put it back in fourth gear?
You should be motivated to go out and do something. If you're making progress, you're not gonna sit still. That's why you see a Elon Musk talking about flying into space and everything. Like people want to work to get rich, but then you thinking, okay, when I get rich, I ain't gonna do nothing else. You're gonna get bored. So you gotta find something else to do, Chris, because when you do get to that level, you ain't gonna enjoy it if you're bored.
Right.
So most people that get money, and the one thing I tell people all the time, you don't wanna know why they get money? Most of them ain't chasing money. The most I enjoy out of not having to work for somebody and not depending on somebody, it's the time with my family. I can do whatever I want with my kids whenever I want to. Guess what? I ain't got to be so harsh on my kids because I'm putting them in the right environment because they pick it up naturally.
Yeah.
That's what I learned from being around the rich people. Okay, they got their kids in here in the environment. They naturally learning it. You ain't got to force it on them. So you learn how to teach your kids a better way. You prepare your kids by what you do, by example.
Right. And so many people think, oh, I got to beat it in them and I got to kind of, have to do some
Yeah, you
type of
trying to
extreme
beat it
stuff.
into them. That's why they're not getting it.
Shout out to Baltimore, Maryland for tuning in live. Shout out to Baltimore. Appreciate Baltimore for tuning in live, listening to
You
replay.
can't force it on them, Christian.
Nah,
Like
you can't.
some of it you gonna force, but when you in these type of environment, you get to them type of levels. Guess what? The most you should get out. Yeah, you're gonna make some money, but if you're doing it like you said for your family, you should enjoy that. You just freed up all your family time. You see, we go on trips and stuff all the time.
Right.
You see, I have my kids with me all the time. I ain't got to call nobody and check the days. See how many days I got left. My kids stay in a whole other state. My oldest one. Guess what? I ain't got to call and check. When she said she got to track me, guess what? I can hop in the car and go, Chris. I can get on the plane and go. That's the freedom.
Courtney, I think honestly, when you're making that transition from zero to financial independent to financial abundance, it can be a lonely road, man. It can be dark. Even you when you talked about your transition from the job to the cleaning company, and then even from the job, the cleaning company, and then going into the trading. You talking about the amount of time that you were studying and the amount of sleep that you got. That's a harsh reality, man. That someone's gonna miss out on sleep. That someone's gonna miss out on family events. We don't talk about that dark side sometimes. It's not really a dark side. It's really just a part of the process. But could you talk about how you had to tell certain family members no to certain family outings because you had to get this skill down for your family? What is your thoughts towards saying no towards some maybe a quick family tradition for a year or so, or for a few months or so, or years
You
if it
gotta
ever
do
takes?
something. You gotta do something different. If you sit on the sideline and not doing anything, that's your fault. That's bottom line. Matter of fact, being in the right environment. You saw that the other night when we was on the call, the mentorship call. Guess what? Being in the right environment and not making an excuse and being real with yourself. Everybody going in on an investment. We ain't finna call the numbers out. But guess what? Somebody said, I ain't got it. Guess what? Being in the right environment, it quickly. Everybody wants to see everybody grow that's in the right environment. You know what? I give you the money. But I respect that person again. Like you said, later on, they came up with the money after hearing me talk. You know what? I've been blowing money over here. I've been blowing money over there. You know what? I would have had $1,000 or the $2,000 or the 3,000 because we don't understand how much money we spend on whoever listen to this. See, if you say you don't got no money, I'm just gonna give you a word of advice. Sit down and see how much unnecessary spending you do every month. I'm pretty sure you got a couple $1,000 free, or at least a couple hundred. We ain't gonna even say a couple. We just gonna keep it simple. You got some money free somewhere, Chris.
Yeah.
What I
Yeah.
tell you about it, guess what? When I was working, I literally found out I'm spending $1,000 a month on food because I'm literally stopping everywhere to eat. When guess what? I could have took my butt to the store and just brought my lunch or whatever to work. But being around the right people in the right environment, I was able to eliminate that problem. So when I said I didn't have no money left over, guess what? I just freed $1,000 up.
And you know what's crazy? People will hear
Simple
you
thing.
make that statement and say, okay, Cornell said he was eating out every day. Cornell, I don't eat out every day. I eat out occasionally, but I still ain't got no money. It's
Guess
like,
what?
well,
You got
you,
some other. Trust me, you have some other bad habits somewhere.
right?
Whether it's shopping, going to you know what I'm saying, going out to eat.
Yes, going out to eat, just whether you're going out to eat at all, it's still a expense that, hey, look, you might
Are
have
you
to.
willing? Are you willing to take it, like I said, a couple months off and not do anything and save that money so we can stop making an excuse that we don't have any money to do anything?
And I want to talk to you about this type of thought process because obviously we have a diverse audience that listens, and I know you could comment on this very, very well because we run into this too as well. What happens to the people that literally they did save some money, so they don't think about growing money, they think
They
about
don't think about
saving money.
growing it.
They don't think about growing it, they think about saving it. So some people think they can save their way to wealth, where some people are looking to grow their way to wealth. What do you say to people that think, oh man, if I just save up my chips, when a rainy day come, I'ma be straight?
I'm gonna tell you just like this, and this is a true story. I had 10 people call me last year that saved up their chips and they lost their job. But like I said, they called me after the fact though. So let's go and get that correct. You've been hearing me for years. You've been around me for years. You thought you was comfortable. You made the 6 figures on your job. COVID hit. COVID had everything down for a minute. The company you work can't operate. Got to get rid of you. But because we so used to making 6 figures, I'll put you like this. I'm family first. Cornell ain't scared to go work 2 jobs. If he got to go work 2 jobs, Chris, I ain't got that much pride. I could have been making 100 some thousand. I ain't got that much pride that I won't go to wherever this gonna give me that job. If whether it be Walmart or Home Depot, and I got to work both of them at the same time. That's how I am. A lot of people when they make it to certain levels feel that I don't know if they think it's a setback or they think they higher than anybody else. A lot of people won't go back down to them levels to take care. So you had to save it, so you think you're straight. So you start to finally realize it was okay when you was working. You never noticed that you wasn't growing your money. Now you got to use that money. Now you look up at 30,000 all the way down to 5,000. Bills steady coming in, but you thinking you just gonna get another job making what you was making in the first place. It don't never happen. And this is true story. I done had people call me that had literally anywhere from 30 to $75,000 saved. Did not go do a job, did not invest in themselves, did not go do no other investment. And months down the road, you went through all that money because emergencies now, bills still coming in. They was living good, driving new cars, nice 4, 5, $600,000 houses, simple stuff. Like I said, when you hear me talking about these folks in my group, if they ask $100,000, get what? Done the proper way, it's gonna take them probably less than $2,000 to do all that. And we ain't even really got to the investing. So it's all about doing something. Most people don't even take the initiative to do anything. So like I said, you got somebody in that environment, mentorship, $55 a month. They paid it. Now you're involved in something that might make you 10 times your money. And if you didn't have the money because you're in such a great environment, people were willing to help you accomplish that. If you ain't around them type of environment, y'all wasting time. You got if you around somebody that feel that they comfortable and they talking down to you about everything you doing, whether you follow me, Christian, or whoever. If you around somebody and every time you bring something up, they knock what you talking about without an explanation, you around the wrong people. And that might be your close friend that you've been cool with for 15, 20 years that you thought was better than you in your head, which they may not be better than you just because they doing okay. Knowledge is power. I rather have that knowledge than that job. That knowledge is gonna go create my own job. That knowledge is gonna create multiple streams.
And it's crazy that people don't have like this voracious mentality to get off a job, Cornell. Do you think you had like a savage
It's the
mentality to get off your job?
comfortability.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
hate about my job? I made the what I told you. I made the 130, 140 at the phone company. Look how many hours I worked there a week. I didn't enjoy that money. My family may have enjoyed the money. Because I'm too tired to enjoy the money. You think I want to do that for 30 years? No. That's how Cornell thought. I got to get up out of here. Most
Right.
people don't think like that. Most
Yeah.
people told me I was crazy for leaving the phone company. Told me I was crazy. That same building I worked in, that I worked in a corporate building that had thousands of jobs in it, is empty to this day.
Yeah, I saw that building and I was going to talk about that the other day. I was like, yeah, I saw that building. Regina
It's
pointed out that
empty.
building. That building is a tall building that's empty. They ain't even using that building. That's how
And guess what? When I see people years later, they're like, man, you still ain't working for nobody, man. I should have listened to you. But guess what? They still don't make the effort. It sounds good to tell me that.
right.
But I know a couple that work with me that made the effort. You didn't talk to them that make $2,000, $3,000 a day. But we just big talking around here now. We ain't just big talking. We in environments where if you guess what? If you're in the environment around me, you never believe you could make big money. It's big money being made off small money
Right.
with proper knowledge.
Now, I have to give you this much. I think the reason why people are definitely thrown off by me and you is because we don't look Hollywood. And now you wear the name brands. That's the even funny part. Is you'll put on some designer brands, but you don't wear it as if you've never had it before. You wear it as if it's just like like it's like your underwear. You just put it on, you know. You got the
It's
logos.
regular to
Yeah,
me.
it's just
And then
regular to you.
furthermore, knowledge is power. I don't pay full price. I ain't standing in line at Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and everything else. It's about relationships. You think I'm going there and dropping $3,000 on a shirt? Nah. You might see me with it, but trust me, I didn't drop $3,000 on. Knowledge is power in anything. You never pay full price for anything. And go back to trade, Chris. We ain't paying full price for nothing. Get what? When we trade, what we trying to do? We trying to kiss that stock. What?
At a good
Buy
price.
low,
Hmm.
sell high. We make money both ways. That's how it should be in every other thing. Guess what? If that's where your extra money going at every month, I see everybody. Everybody got the designer belt, all that. You might see me with it, but somebody could have gave it to me because I do such a good business. See, there go the extra money you needed, Chris. You're gonna drop $600 on the belt.
I think one of the things that people run into is that they have to learn a new skill. They run into this roadblock of learning a new skill. Maybe they never had a real skill before. They just learned some information. They did a lot of plug and play at their job, push the button, do the work. They don't have a skill identified, Cornell. People say, oh, you got to do what you love. Well, it's like, well, how the hell did Cornell love trading before he ever did it? How did he love the cleaning company before he ever did it? What are you guys talking about? Oh, you got to love what you do. How could he have loved the cleaning company before he did the cleaning company? How could he love trading before he did trade? How could Trust Christian love trusteeship before we got in trustee training? So what is this myth that you got to love something to do it?
Nah, you gotta love it.
Oh, you heard it
But if
from
you
somebody that's
actually see
successful.
yeah, you actually see what the real outcome gonna be, then you wouldn't think that way. If the person that's telling you is in a better position than you and tell you something and you don't listen, for instance, like last year, we just keep it simple. I gave out free advice last year, didn't I, Chris?
Yeah.
Gave people some stock. Hey, go buy these. If I thought I was just talking, guess what? Them stocks changed a lot of people's lives and made a few people millionaires last year because they invested in themselves.
But everybody's
But
got this mentality, Cornell, that it can it really be them? Woe oh me, can I really do it?
are we going? How long we gonna keep saying that? Guess what? A mentor once told me, "If you're comfortable, you ain't doing enough.
Wow. Okay.
You can't step out your comfort zone. Yeah, and if you comfortable, it go to people on and listen to us. What you got your nice job and everything else. Look at Cornell. The people around Cornell are becoming millionaires or at least putting their hand on a couple 100,000. That ain't just talking. That's somebody getting out their comfort zone. I even got some of my partners been around me for years. They starting to see now. Yeah, man, these jobs, COVID woke them up. Hey, man, these jobs ain't gonna be around like that. Yeah, I got a little money. Okay. I used to get on my wife about that. Why I said $100,000 working a job. She just said it, but like I said, okay, it's cool, but you did that how many years ago? Look how much it growed in the bank. Now I show her the entrepreneur side. She was willing to listen. Guess what? You making that in a couple months because you stepped out the comfort zone. You thought my wife thought she needed a corporate job. That's why I give y'all these. She thought she needed a corporate job. Guess what? Went from a corporate job to top producer in real estate a year later.
Right.
Investing in yourself.
Right.
Now you got to answer to nobody. Now today, guess what you doing? You calling you an assistant. You
Every
controlling.
I think it's a
Your atmosphere.
believable. I think it's a believability thing. I think a lot of people don't
That's
have
it.
that belief
A
in
lot of people don't
themselves.
believe they can make that type of money. I said, you hear me say that all the time. A lot of people don't believe they can make that type of money. Don't look at somebody else, man. I don't. If I look at people for encouragement, but I don't look at what people doing.
Right.
I ain't looking at their money and their cars and all that. That ain't impressing me. I want to hear what you're doing. I think that what most people look at. Oh man, they dress nice. Think about it. And this might hurt some network marketers. Feel. All they do is show you a lifestyle. Let me see how bank. Let me see how real asset. Take me to something you really doing outside of that without hyping people up. How many people are you actually creating millionaires? Seriously.
Right, not the number, not the ones that say they went to a level, but then they don't
Yeah,
maintain that level. Like, oh, we got all these people to make this much money, but you really didn't. That was one time. It's not a consistent thing,
exactly.
you know. Yeah.
Now, if you doing it and you are providing that type of environment, I ain't talking about no one or two people at a large scale. You make all this money off it, you gonna, hey, more power to you. But I don't know too many that do it. They make their money. So how is it? Cause oh, you can throw some money around. That? No, man, we provide a whole lot around here in these environments, all the way down to kids financial literacy. Like, I want to hear a lot of they ain't doing nothing. You think I want to see you on a video in a loft or a condo or on a boat and all that, and you done went in with 10 and 15 more people to make yourself look like something that you ain't living? Nah, real people ain't got to show nothing they doing. I don't know nobody that get no money that just finna say, well, Chris, I'm just gonna stunt on you online and show you this and that. I don't know none of my mentors you gonna catch online nowhere.
Right, that's the facts. We don't. Our mentors ain't even online like that, and
You know my
it's
mentor gonna say they probably, hey, they probably ain't in the position you think they in because guess what? Certain things are not supposed to be online, and people with money know that. Even with trade, guess what? You don't see Goldman Sachs people on here. You don't see, you don't see them doing Chris. You don't see these bank traders on here. Certain things you get privileged to. They let you know somebody making some money.
What do you say? Because it's interesting. I think we can have a dynamic conversation about that because I know you don't really get to meet people that come at you from this perspective. But what do you think about the fact that the websites like a Robin Hood or the rest of these unregulated websites? Do you think that the government should put in more regulation? So this Monday, the trading is the new Monday night football where it actually has some type of regulation to it. Do you think there's no regulation there now? Do you think there needs to be more regulation with these companies that are allowing these newbie investors come in, these retail investors, and literally get wiped out? And now this isn't the first time this happened in history, but what do you say in 2021 where it's still at this moment where it seems as though these people are getting wiped out, and there was even young people killing themselves off this past situation that they did with the pump and dump. What do you say to that? Do you think there should be more regulation or not?
It's regulation, but guess what? You always got somebody that's trying to go around the system. Y'all ain't gonna change the system. People keep talking about the dollar going away. The dollar ain't going away, people. Now that comes from, like I said, knowledge is power. You get in class, you learn something, you'll understand that we created the money system. Dollar is accepted everywhere in the world, almost. You think they're gonna take that out? No. Other countries trying to take it out. But the US will be crazy to take the dollar out of circulation when you control the money system, Chris. It ain't too many other countries where their currencies can go and be used all over the world.
It's so many pieces of misinformation out there. When they talk about whether it's the crypto stuff and you know people are just having such a hard time with that conundrum right now. What do you say to people that are really on the fence about crypto? What are your thoughts on it? Do you think a person should be holding it? Do you think a person should leave it alone? What are your thoughts on crypto? And if not crypto, blockchain, because I want you to comment on both of them separately, because the crypto and the blockchain are two different things in the respect that the crypto is a coin possibly, whereas the blockchain is more of the actual platform that transactions and the technology is on that particular, is utilizing the encryption of blockchain, whereas somebody could have a coin and not be, it could be here today and gone tomorrow.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. A banker, private wealth banker, told me crypto is a long way from becoming some legitimate to a certain aspect to where you're gonna be able to use it on that monetized level that everybody's trying to put it at right now. Right now, it's still private. Y'all gotta understand the government does not want nothing in place where they cannot track or trace the information. A lot of you ain't even familiar with it. So I'm gonna give you a word of advice. Don't walk in your bank and tell your bank that you are receiving money off of crypto. They're gonna probably close your account down. If you don't believe me, BB&T did a couple years ago when everybody made all that money off Bitcoin, Christian.
Hmm.
Went through Coinbase. They start flagging everybody account that was cashing out through Coinbase because they don't want the transactions going through their bank where they could be held liable if something was to go wrong. And even when you open accounts, now you might see certain questions that they ask you about now. Why would I go put some money, a whole lot of money over there, especially money that I need, and I'm gonna have a hard time getting it out? They try to come up with ways of getting around the way you can use it. But do you think the U.S. government still gonna allow Mastercard or Visa to just let you put that money on the card and they can't trace that money? I don't think so. So and it's too high. How many of y'all got 50 something dollars to buy a Bitcoin? You don't buy high, you buy low.
Well, people right now are telling people, look, it was $3,000 last year this time, so you're crazy that you didn't get
Guess
the.
what? So knowledge is power. So you should have bought it at $3,000 and not $57,000. Because the market doesn't go straight up. Cornell, for y'all a word of advice tonight. The market don't go straight up. So even if it don't go back down to $3,000, it's still gonna drop $10,000 to $15,000 on you to come back and get the uneducated people money, and then it's gonna go right back up because they educated and knowledge is power to know that. I'm gonna rope y'all in. It's called zero sum. Nobody puts money up in the market. I'm gonna run a lot of ads. I'm gonna make it very popular. So you can go in the same way they did Kodak that day, and they came right back an hour or two later and took the majority of those Robin Hood traders' money. You're not gonna change their system. Y'all seen that with GameStop and AMC. Robin Hood didn't even let you cash out.
At this point, literally, you could say Robin Hood is the enemy of the people. This damn company has been a part of pumping dumps for the past 2 to 3 years. This is not jokes. And not only that, they've had reports people killing themselves because their app, it has a delay on posting the proper information. So people might think they in the hole, but you're not in the hole.
Yep.
What are we talking about here? So once again, this company has literally in the past 2 to 3 years has been reported that they literally are participating. Here we go. This is a term. It's called insider trading. But they can't get hit up on insider trading because they have a contract. They have no tie to the company, and they have no tie to their customers. But the company is a publishing marketing company. They're
Yeah.
publishing retail traders' information to the private companies. They're a data company. They're selling data from the public to the private sector so the private sector can take positions such as GameStop, which they already had, but they found out the look, if the private sector has short interest in the stock, what would the public what makes the public think they can come in here and go against the grain? Yeah, you did go against the grain. You're the ones that created the liquidity for the sellers to stay in and take your money. Not only that, Robinhood had to borrow money because they
Yep.
took the opposite position. They allowed people to take the opposite position against their people that took the free information, the free recommendation of GameStop. They should be accused of making people lose money. Why not? They're the ones that promoted the damn stock. The stock ain't did nothing and it ain't gonna do nothing. It wasn't supposed to do nothing. That's why I had a short interest in it. It's nothing wrong with the banks taking a short interest in it. What's wrong is that clearly Robinhood said it was a stock that, whoa, well, no, it wasn't. Look, it wasn't Robinhood. They were just the person that conducted the transactions. But for some odd reason, they had to go borrow money for a payout. That already lets you know they were doing something nefarious. Not only that, they say, okay, we didn't take the opposite side of your positions. The Reddit company promoted this stock to you all. Well, do you know who owns Reddit? Do you know these people that got these aliases on the internet? People are taking stock picks. Their financial future, education is coming from people that got aliases online that you'll never meet these people. We're in the age of hide behind your damn avatar. Hide behind your name on the internet. Trust Christian Revolt, we doing the workshop on May 1st. Once again, if you're a trustee and you want to come, feel free to reach out. If you want to come to the workshop, feel free to reach out. Christian at trustchristian.com. Cornell obviously is going to be there. Of course, you're going to be able to shake somebody's hand, and talk to somebody straight face to face. Because that's the age you live in. How you can't be a personality over the internet because the personalities over the internet, we already know. They're network marketers. They telling you it's one thing, but it's not. We don't need a lot of y'all. There's no need to lie. But somehow we're in the age of the fabrication of the lifestyle. No one wants to tell you that they got to work hard, because hard work, don't do that. Get a gig, drive for Uber, do DoorDash. You can make some money. Okay, and then you give somebody something for $500. It costs less than your car. $500 for you to learn literally a trading manual on how to learn how to trade for $500. Cornell gave this out to look. People say, "How many? What's your success ratio, Cornell? What's your success ratio?" Let's hear your success ratio again, Cornell,
Success ratio on what?
on the trading class.
People that follow direction
Yeah.
and follow through. Pretty much 100%. We just say 99, but the one that follow direction, they make money. Everybody learning curve is different. Some pick up quicker. Guess what? We had some pick up in 2, 3 months. Some take a year. But a lot of want to tell you, they gonna tell you that it took them a year. They weren't taking it serious. It wasn't the information. The information was given.
Cornell, it seems like there's no defined time period on learning this type of stuff, the private information. It seems like there's
It's
just
on the end of it's the individual who gonna take it serious, and I serious you gonna take.
But Cornell, this can get to a point where if you're saying that I can make this type of money, it can get obsessive. I need to make this money. The money that you're talking about, if it's available, I need that. So I am willing to do whatever it takes. You hear that line all the time, right? Oh, I'm going to do whatever it takes, Cornell. Yeah, right. You're going to
It's
do
in
whatever.
your action. So what I just said, good mentors is not calling you every day to check up to see if you're doing it or not. You got to show somebody you willing to do it. You know that. If my mentor points something out, go like this. Basically, I'm giving direction, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't follow direction. Why am I gonna call you every day to see that you follow direction when I just gave it to you, draw it out? I know if you're following directions. I didn't say you can answer, ask questions. Get what? Somebody that's following directions is gonna have questions to ask anyway.
Right. Right.
A good mentor is not gonna check up to see if Christian over there doing what I told him to do when he's supposed to be already doing. I don't
Right.
think a lot of people get that.
Right. Cornell is a lot
Guess
of
what? You
is
know
a
if you got a good mentor like you said, you got people that hype, then you got people that actually show you how to get some money for real. You get, like I said, you get somebody to create a system where they just want to fill a room and they really don't care if they help you or not. Y'all go ahead. Y'all go pay whatever you want to pay, but Cornell ain't paying.
right.
I pay somebody in a real environment that's gonna put me on some money and show me something different that ain't out there what everybody else doing because it's a fad.
And you think about this. When we went to the workshop together, most of the time we usually get value out of the events we go to because we are
Yeah,
selective in who we
yeah,
dealing with.
yeah.
Even when you say we deal with Jamal, it was like you say, of course of course you dealt with Robert Kiyosaki, you know, you invested in that. But the thing about it is you said you made money off of even the book you got from that class. So a lot of times we've had to make something out of nothing with the little bit that we were given. So we took that inch and ran and got the mile. You know, you didn't just go in the room like the rest of the people sit in the room and say, "Oh, I ain't got no questions for these guys for the real
Nah, I
estate
pay
stuff."
attention. Oh yeah, me, I'm paying attention. I ain't just sitting there with them. And like I said, that's what most people do. Nah, when I step in the room, Christian, I'm learning something.
Or establishing the
Guess what?
relationships.
Robert Kiyosaki was charging a whole lot of money, but guess what? What I said, if you follow directions, Robert Kiyosaki had it all in that book. I paid $500 for me and my cut. Some people lazy. Guess what? You lazy? Okay, we're gonna charge you for being lazy. That Rob Kiyosaki was. It's gonna be 10,000 for wholesaling, Chris. Or you can read this book right here to tell you how to do it and follow the instructions. Guess what? Follow the instructions, got some deals done off that book. But the whole time, Robert Kiyosaki gonna give you a little bit of information, and they pitching you on trying to sell you on a big amount. Because guess what? They understand. There's one thing about those gurus y'all looking at. They understand that a lot of y'all ain't gonna get. So I got to go on a charge y'all to get my money, so y'all won't waste my time. I'm gonna get some out of Christian. If I
Okay,
don't get nothing else, I'm gonna get some money out of him. I don't care if he learning or not.
so let's talk about the workshop and the webinar that you got coming up. We have a workshop on May 1st coming out. We're gonna do that workshop, but let's talk about the webinar. What's gonna be different about this webinar than the last ones, and what's so yeah? Is there anything different about this webinar?
What you mean different?
Is
Talking about the
anything?
trade,
Yeah, is the trade class, is it ever different or is it always the same?
the conversation might be different, but guess what? What you learning, and this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. This repetition. So information ain't changing. Like people be like, "Dang, fellas, yes, this is the superior system. It's no fads in it, Christian. This is it. And it's not online. And it works. You can go back and verify it. Y'all can go back and look at some old videos we did. And if you took my class, I'd have people literally call me like, man, y'all talk about that months in advance. Yes, because we go learn from real private individuals. We ain't doing fads over here. So this information gonna be the same. Always. It don't change. But guess what? Getting in an environment, you might get a little bit more to add on to that that go along with that because we're in a private environment. All these people in the private environment, whether it be trust or trade, now you in the environment. Ain't that what we was talking about?
Yeah.
You gotta get in the environment. Are we gonna go out here and freestyle on? Yeah, we may give you general information, but it's private information. We follow instructions. It ain't to be given out for free online. It ain't online. Why would I give something out like that? That'd be crazy. Well, now we cut off our mentors cut us off, and guess what? We didn't follow instructions. If you're
It's
really trying to learn how to trade, I would encourage you to take the webinar. If you just looking for something to do, this ain't for you. You see how the advertiser totally different than somebody that's trying to get you in a room. I don't want your money just to fill a room up. You'll be amazed what's going on in this mentorship on top of the trade with individuals now. You understand. We're not playing around in our environment.
yeah. I think it's Cornell, I think people listen and they really appreciate, the straight conversation that you give them and uh I think people they want to get over this hump and we can't tell a person enough about how you may have to leave old people behind to
You
become
got to.
successful. That's a tough.
And be like, my background, you want my background? I've been trained 8 years. I'm gonna tell y'all, trading is not a fad. Trading got very popular. I hate it turned into a fad because trading was way more predictable when a lot of people wasn't doing it. But now you got a lot of new money in there. You got to deal with it. But guess what? The same people still control it. So I'm all right. I just make a little bit more money now. I hate to say it, off uneducated people. That's the bottom line. That's how the market works. Y'all hear me say that over and over again. Learn what zero sum is. Zero sum, when I'm making money, somebody losing money. And more than likely, it's people in these multi-level marketing that's paying me. I hate to say it like that, but I want you to know that. That's what you learn. That's the difference of what's going on in the webinar class. And that webinar class is by request.
I
Every
want
time
you.
y'all see me pop one up, that means my email is flooded to do a class. Do y'all understand that? So I don't have to come on and advertise like that.
I want you to talk about though this one example that always blew my mind. I've had so many good laughs off this situation. But you always talked about the guy that made $30,000 trading, and he doesn't. And from what you're aware of, he doesn't
He
trade
never
anymore.
learned how to trade, and he don't probably trade no more. Got lucky, made 30,000 real quick, and I'm pretty sure he not even trading anymore. I'm pretty sure he probably ain't.
That's crazy, Cornell. Because you see so many people say, "I'm trying to make some money." There's a lot of people that's trying to make some money. He actually made the money and then still lost it.
And guess what? When you're in my environment, we ain't got to make up no stories over there. You done met some of the people. You done met the guy that come on and it can teach the class and that showing you how you making $2,000 in a couple hours every morning.
Excuse me. Yeah, he
You,
definitely did
you
that. Excuse me.
you done heard the story with my aunt starting with $400 and making six figures in a few months. Like, because it's a real environment. We put ourselves in real environment. Nah, the class I do that because people might have not been ready at that time. Now my email full. It's getting to the point now since COVID. Guess what? I might as well just put it on the schedule every month because after this one, guess what? As soon as it's over with, I'm probably gonna have 30, 40 emails. When the next one? But like I said, that's by request. But that should let you know something right is going on.
Well, I think people
Did you
don't
hear me
see
say?
they don't see the
Guess what?
hoopla. You know,
It
they
ain't
don't.
even no monthly fee on the trade, Chris.
Right.
Not on the trade.
It's just learning,
And
man.
it's crazy and amazing that in one weekend I'm gonna show you how to trade. I didn't say it's gonna be next week when you learn it though, did it?
Right.
It's all about the person. But one weekend webinar gonna show you everything you need to know about trading if you follow everything in there.
Now, this is for the idiots that think because they went to some type of school, they could say, well, what makes you qualified to teach something in a teaching format? It's because you're living it.
What made me qualified without a degree? I done taught a hedge fund of Harvard, Yale, whatever y'all look up to. I helped them raise their fund where they just sold that fund off the information I showed them. So I don't care nothing about accolades. I don't care if you believe me or not. In my environment, guess what? 10 to 15 became millionaires last year because they followed instructions, Chris. Probably the same thing gonna happen again this year.
Yeah.
So instead of having large numbers, I'd rather have success. But guess what? Now I'm creating an environment where people coming together, everybody at the same level, or close to the same level. You can go do the same thing that everybody else doing. Now you'll see the big picture. Now you can get into larger investment because everybody moving the same way in the environment.
Yeah. It's okay. So they say, okay, what makes it qualified? But they say, okay, Cornell, everybody doesn't learn the same way. This is the line they use out here, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know that everybody
Guess
doesn't
what?
learn the
So
same way.
on this webinar is step by step from the beginning. We even talk about what them red and green things on the chart. You know, I break it all the way down to the beginning. Ain't no excuse for nobody. So when you get that video, you're gonna watch that video over and over again, along with the PowerPoint slide that I'm gonna give to you. So you can learn at your own pace. There's no competition. Some people got more free time than others. Like I just tell people, trading is something that you don't pick up a couple days. You look at every day. Whether it's 30 minutes to an hour, you put it in your head because you should be trying to learn it as quick as you trying to learn that system at work when they want to give you a raise to learn that new machine at work, right?
Right.
That's
Put,
how it should be.
put like this. They gonna give you a raise at your job, but they need you to come in the extra 30 minutes to learn this new skill. That's what Cornell's saying. The trading is the extra 30 minutes. It's the extra hour. Hold on. But you still didn't put in the hours. Appreciate Dallas, Texas for tuning in live, listen, replay. Shout out to Dallas, Texas. Shout out to Delaware for tuning in late. Appreciate Delaware for tuning in late. Cornell, they're already working 8 hours a day. I don't know what job works 8 hours a day anymore. You know, a lot of them trying to cut back on hours. But let's just say you working 8 hours a day. You're sitting in traffic for 2 hours because you drive to work, it takes an hour. You drive home, it takes an hour. Cornell, it doesn't seem that they have as much time as you saying they have. They, they do they got to look at it every day, and they got to
But
look
guess
at it.
what? In my environment, you hear that Cornell worked a job, worked at the phone company, 12 to 15 hours a day, left there, went and worked the franchise, and at the same time, I actually learned how to trade 20 hours a day. Can't nobody get Cornell no excuses. You know, when I get in there, as I talk to the folks in mentorship, I done heard it. You can't give me no excuse. I done went through the whole process. Cornell don't come from money. And make sure y'all understand this. We don't come from money. So that should let you know you do have the opportunity to be just like Cornell. That's why I teach kids. Like I got teams that's why I teach kids. And guess what? Sometimes in our environment, we don't learn it. Guess what? Cornell from them streets. So you can't use that as an excuse. We can't use the environment. We can't have nobody want you shouldn't want nobody to feel sorry for you. I don't want nobody to feel sorry for me. It's the same opportunities out here. Guess what? Trade put you in the same playing field with anybody. Guess what? You put me against a Rhodes Scholar. That don't mean he know how to trade. That should make you want to prove a point, Chris.
Right.
I ain't gotta have no degree. Yeah, you ain't gotta have a degree to make more money than somebody with a degree. You ain't hear me say the guy make $2,000 a day in less than probably 2 hours. How much is that? 5 days a week, 10,000 a week, and then he get to learn how to set it up the proper way. He seeing his money, and guess what, Chris? That's 2 to 3 hours a day. So guess what? If you're listening, it's repetition, meaning you're gonna put the time in up front to free your time up for life.
That is a very counter thought process to the public school thought process that we were brought up with. I can tell you that for sure because it's one of those things with Robert Kiyosaki at the beginning of the book of Rich Dad Poor Dad says you don't work for money. The rich don't work for money. It is a
The rich
very
don't work for money.
it's a
That is a true statement.
yeah, it's challenging though when you're around people that got jobs that are working for money. That's a fact. If you're around people that are working for money, they're gonna talk. They're gonna make you unconsciously think this way,
I can
subconsciously.
promise you, you can bring your closest friend with a small business, and that's all he got. I can promise you, he's not gonna make more money than me as a entrepreneur, as a serial entrepreneur in the right environment. I don't care if he had made a couple hundred. We got investments in a couple months that's gonna make that. And think about him running that small business, how many hours he put in, Chris. You know, I don't say all the time, like, do it. I'm at a point in my life. Knowledge is so powerful. I try to all my investments don't really require a whole lot of time anymore. And you mean to tell me I can still make 5 to 10 times more than what somebody out here killing themselves to make? Guess what? You ain't got to listen to Cornell, but every time I see Cornell, Cornell doing something. Cornell can go enjoy his kids. Cornell can tell her, hey, let's hop on the plane tomorrow. Let's go here. How many can do that running that small business? You can't probably even step away from your business. So why not learn some while you up, not when you down. And all we gotta do when we down, that we gotta learn something. Eventually, you're gonna want to sit down. And I done had some cocky small business. That's why I said it. Come on, and then you quickly see like, oh, you had that setback, but Cornell got 8 to 10 different things going on over here. Why I ain't go in there and learn that with him when I was up? Because I had too much pride. I thought I had it going on. I done had a business owner. And guess what? That business owner was affected heavily by COVID, and he was making almost 200-some thousand dollars a year, Chris. That got taken away. That happened to a lot of people that y'all don't even understand that yet. Even with businesses, a lot of money was taken away.
Definitely was. The PPP didn't save them. Their businesses, that their business just went out of business because
Their
they
business
weren't
is not
open.
coming back.
Yeah,
But there's one side of thinking. Guess what? All your money was solely dependent on what? And mentorship. Mentorship ain't just about trade. Oh, yeah. Only thing we had a meeting about trade yet, have we?
oh
We
what
ain't had one.
what
We bought multiple streams.
yeah.
But guess what? If you know how to trade, you can man, Cardi, you tell me I can go invest, make some investment, get a return on some money. Then I got this skill right here I just learned. Well, I ain't even gotta go hard at it, Chris. I can make 100, maybe $500 a day in 5 minutes to a couple hours, and I ain't willing to learn that. I can't help you. I can't make you go get your own money.
I was just thinking
And you
about
keep on doing what you're doing. Hey, more power to you.
right. I was thinking about how the network, how the internet marketers, how they probably had to change their business model this past year because there were less entrepreneurs that were
Oh
like, "Hey, we're
yeah,
gonna spend some money on internet marketing." Y'all think we dumb though? See, we not we see what's going on out here. Y'all think we don't know?
yeah.
Look, Cornell and
It's a
us,
lot of
we're peeping.
clubhouses going on.
Oh yeah, Cornell. We gonna say what they did. It's called they pivoted.
They
That's what they
pivoted.
did. They pivoted like a ballerina on their tippy toes, and that's a fact. But y'all wouldn't sit here and say, "Oh, well, they do the internet marketing. She's teaching people how to do internet marketing. He's teaching people how to do internet marketing. Everybody's trying to teach you how to grow your business over the internet." But guess what? How many people is advertising to help you grow your business over the internet right now? When people they're not doing that. The trend is shifted, and people want to sit here and say, "Oh, I don't know what to do. I gotta figure it out." Teaching people how to build a business over the internet is not always the path. You can learn something for yourself and do it on your own. It's just crazy, man. We would just think about how so many people, their business models weren't essential last year. Was the stock market essential last year? The stock market. Was investing in your financial education essential last year? Hold on. So your financial education wasn't essential, but what was? Having cable so you can have the internet and do TikTok and stay at home? What was the priority? And we just have real conversations with y'all just to let y'all know this is recorded live, and it's just to talk about the realities that we see, what's going on in real time,
This was going on real time.
what's
You
going
know, to
on.
talk down on them. Guess what? We see it. We ain't acting fake. We like, man, y'all be talking. Listen, we in a real environment. I ain't here to entertain nobody for no quick laugh. Is actually here to help you because some people scared to tell you the honest truth sometimes. Some of you guys are sitting around. Some of you guys is not actually, you think you taking care of your family, but there's a lot of extra unnecessary stuff y'all doing that's blocking you from taking care of your family the proper way. You got to get in the right environment. So sometimes we may stray the wrong direction. That's why we got mentors. We just had a conversation earlier where I told you. I know a billionaire in Alabama. But Cornell, guess what? You need to stop over helping people so much. And they getting old. I'm like, huh? Guess what? It made me change my thought process for the year. But it's actually making my business stronger because he made them comment, which produces better change. Guess what? He's a billionaire, Christian. So I'm gonna listen to him. And at the same time, guess what that's doing? That's providing better on what I'm trying to accomplish. So guess what? Now you go from being rich to wealthy, listening to wealthy people. So if you was working and somebody semi-rich, you should be listening to them. They guide you in the right direction. That may be the guidance that you was missing to get over that hump. But how many are willing to listen? Yeah, I'm gonna keep going back to that. How many are willing to listen? How many of you guys out there are willing to listen to somebody?
It's challenging, Cornell, because then people have to sell out to listening, and it's almost like they think that they can't question it. Now, where we're from, we would use an expletive called D-riding. People don't want to D-ride, Cornell. They don't want to seem like they're kissing butt. So how is it that they can just listen to you but not come across as kissing butt? Oh, he's stuck up. This guy, he thinks this guy is walking on water. What how what do
If
you say
that's
to
your
that?
frame of thinking, you already lost in the first place. If you can't learn from somebody else that's in a better position than you, I can't even help you with that. I mean, you got to get over your way. And guess what? Cornelius be the one that guess what? I ain't want to listen to what everybody had to say, but I quickly got out of that when I got in the environment. And when I been like, you're in the right environment when you got some real business people in front of you that make it look easy, and you over here killing yourself working hard. Now, why am I not gonna listen to him when I see this man over here, these 30 something? What you heard I said? These 30 some houses, literally relaxed, not stressed out, not worried about anything, because he put himself in position.
That's all you gotta do, man, is put yourself in position, ladies and gentlemen. And we've been taught our whole lives that you gotta work for money. And ladies and gentlemen, the money system, the money's supposed to work for you.
The money's supposed to work for you.
So it's a choice. It's not an easy choice. No one said it was gonna be easy. But what are you gonna do on Monday? What are you gonna do Monday through Friday next week? If you really doing something, you gonna be working. So why not put yourself in a position where you got a system that you're building and not just working in the system, being a dispensable cog in the wheel. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening, replay. This is Trust Christian Evolve. We got Cornell. We're doing a webinar on the 28th. Feel free to reach out. Christian at trustchristian.com. And we'll talk about that. We'll go over the webinar as well on the 28th, and then we got May 1st. Feel free to reach out, and we look forward to seeing y'all. So appreciate y'all. Cornell, you got anything to say before we wrap it up?
Wrap it up.
All right, good. Definitely know it's getting late for the working class. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Appreciate y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day or night. We'll do another episode on Sunday. For Sunday service here, we get Cornell come on and talk about some Sunday service stuff. If not, Be Trust Christian involved doing Sunday service, Tuesday episodes. Appreciate you all for tuning in live. Look forward to hearing from you all. See you at the webinar or the workshop. Christian at trustchristian.com for details. Peace.